I still hear the sound of a child crying at night. Even though both of them are long gone. It started 3 years ago in our small village near the river, a quiet place surrounded by thick forest and tall grass. We had no electricity, no cars, just red soil and the smell of firewood. People lived close to one another, everyone knew everyone's business. Then came Mama Ozioma. Her husband had died suddenly after a fever that no one could explain. She was left with a small child, a boy named Chijioke, barely 2 years old. She was poor, and her house was half broken. Sometimes, when the rain fell, water would pour in through the roof. But what made people avoid her wasn't her poverty, it was fear. The old women whispered that she was cursed. They said her husband died because she used charms. Others said she had angered the river goddess. And because of these stories, people refused to talk to her. If she came to the market, women hid their food. Children mocked her when she passed. I was only 16 then. I didn't throw stones like the others, but I didn't help her either. I just watched. One evening, I saw her sitting by the stream, washing a small wrapper. Her son sat beside her, laughing as he splashed water. She smiled at him, a tired, sad smile, and sang softly. "River carry Sarogo. Bring peace to me and my boy." Her voice carried through the trees. I remember feeling something twist in my chest. She wasn't a witch. She was just lonely. Then the sickness came. It started with our neighbor, Papa Ogijiofo. He woke up one morning coughing. By night, he was vomiting and shaking. Within days, his wife caught it too. The healer said it was bad wind. But then others got sick, the children, the elders, even the healer himself. The cough spread through the whole village like fire. People stopped going to the farm. Chickens and goats wandered freely because their owners were too weak to care. The air smelled foul. Then one night, we heard the widow screaming. When we ran to her hut, she was on the floor holding her lifeless child. His small body was stiff, his lips pale. She begged for help, but no one stepped forward. The women said, "Don't touch them. She brought this curse." So she sat there, alone, crying until morning. The next evening, she wrapped the boy in cloth, carried him on her back, and walked toward the river. Some people followed from far behind, hiding among the trees. She stood by the water, placed the body on the riverbank, and whispered something none of us could hear. Then she filled a clay pot with river water, drank from it, and vanished into the darkness. By morning, she was gone. For 3 days, her hut remained silent. Then the sickness became worse. People began to swell up, their skin turning yellow like ripe plantain. The healer died. The priest ran away to the next village. It was as if death had built a home among us. Finally, the elders gathered. The oldest man in our land, Papa Nedi, said something that made everyone go quiet. He said, "The woman you cast out, her family once served the river goddess. They were the keepers of the healing water. You chased her away, and now the river is angry." We were shocked. He told us her mother used to prepare herbs that healed any sickness, and that the cure for this kind of disease was kept by their lineage, but the recipe was given only from mother to daughter. We had killed our only hope. People went to the river to search for her body. They found only her broken clay pot and a small piece of the cloth she used to carry her son. The river looked darker than before, the water thick like oil. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing a woman's song coming from the river. The same one she used to sing to her boy. I went outside and followed the sound. When I reached the riverbank, the moon was full, and the water shone red, like blood. Then I saw her. She was standing knee-deep in the river, holding something in her arms. Her eyes were hollow, her skin pale like the moon. She looked straight at me and said, "You all drank from the river without thanks. Now the river drinks from you." I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. She slowly turned and sank beneath the water. The next morning, 5 more people were dead. Their mouths were full of black water. The villagers stopped fetching water from the river after that. We dug a new well far away, and slowly, the sickness faded. But we knew it wasn't healing, it was mercy. Years later, when I walk past the river at night, I still hear her song. Sometimes, I see ripples moving even when the wind is still. They say it's just the water. But I know better. It's her. Mama Ozioma and her little boy. The ones we left to die. And every time I hear that soft singing, I remember the way she looked at me that day at the stream, tired, lonely, but still human. Now, I wonder if the real curse wasn't hers, but ours.